guys, welcome to Carol's Universe, Tarot Readings from the Heart. Thanks ever so much for joining me on your week ahead reading. Just to let you know how the reading's going to go, we do your weekly check-in first. Then we have a look at more specifically your work, and we also have a look at your love life during the week. I'd like to say, guys, thanks ever so much for joining me this week for your reading. And yeah, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Hi Libra, welcome to Carol's Universe, Tarot Readings from the Heart. So we're going to do your week ahead reading, 22nd to the 28th of June. General, then career, and then love. So let's get started. All right, so let's have a look then, Libra. We've got the cards down. Sorry, this top level here is the spellcasters. That was meant to be for work, and this one, which is the Gilded Tarot Royale, was meant to be for general, but it doesn't matter. So let's have a look. What is the message? So the Knight of Pentacles is the message. We had that for Gemini, but using this deck on the last one. So Knight of Pentacles again for me is about work, and it's about duty, and it's about perseverance, and because he's the builder of the tarot, so he's the hard worker of the tarot. Usually this is a job, it's a hard worker. Something is going to change here, I think, this Wheel of Fortune. I think that there has been to me this looks like there's been a journey here, Libra, that you've been on with that Knight of Pentacles. But I get the impression, let me just pull these down a bit so we can get everything on the screen really good. So let's pull these down here as well, because I just think that these are two. 1 minute, let's put this here and here. It just feels like you can't see everything properly here. Okay, so yeah, I mean, we've got the Knight of Pentacles, and it feels like you've been on a journey, like you've been persevering, you've been building something with that Knight of Pentacles, and it just feels with the Wheel of Fortune showing afterwards that this is going to change. Or it could be something that was very slow moving with the Knight of Pentacles is about to change with the Wheel. There's a change here. The Temperance, it's going to come together. Okay, so when you get the Temperance card here, we've got things coming together with the Temperance energy showing there. It's funny that we've got two Sagittarius card, Wheel of Fortune and Temperance energy. It feels like the Knight of Pentacles. So I would say here, now when you get Temperance, sometimes you can read that as a card where things are taking time, but no, we've got this Wheel. So the Temperance card and that Wheel and that Knight of Coins, something has been moving really slow here for some of you guys, Libra. I feel that that Wheel is telling you that that is about to change this week or going into the following week, and things are finally starting to come together with the Temperance energy showing here. Let's have a look at the next one. Yeah, we've got this big change happening here with the Death card showing up, and let's have a look at the next one, the Ace of Coins. So a big change coming in and something beginning to materialize, because the Ace of Coins is the beginning of something materializing, something beginning to materialize. So I think that the general advice for you, Libra, this week is something that has been taking a long time to come to fruition with that Knight of Coins is going to change with the Wheel of Fortune. Finally, we're seeing something here coming together, a big change. Okay, so we're seeing the ending of one phase, the beginning of another, whereby something is now beginning to materialize. So you're starting to see the evidence of it with the Ace of Coins. Let's have a look at your career reading, Libra. Okay, so there could be some competition at work, or you might be facing some form of conflict or challenge at the workplace. The Five of Wands energy showing here. I'm seeing it's with the King of Pentacles. So that's with your boss probably. I'm seeing some conflict, or you're facing a challenge with the boss, the King of Pentacles showing here. Let's have a look here. The Three of Wands energy. So it may be, see, Three of Wands is interesting because the Three of Wands could be, in a work reading, you're networking with different people. So this is about reaching out and expanding your horizons and networking. This could be networking, you know, a business partnership. Three of Wands energy showing here. Let's have a look at the next one. All right, I'm seeing some of you guys probably networking, talking, communicating. It could be with the King of Cups showing here. Eight of Swords, though. Eight of Swords, Eight of Swords, Eight of Swords. That's interesting. So Three of Wands. But actually the Three of Wands person has its back turned towards the King of Cups energy. Okay, so it feels like to me then, I mean, we've got two kings in the reading. Let me just have a look at two kings in a reading, because sometimes that can be about getting advice or, you know, knowledge. Kings are knowledgeable, but two kings, they're not like two queens, I don't think, in a reading. Two queens represents arguments, fights and gossip. Let's have a look at the two kings, if we can find somewhere. Two kings in the reading. So let's have a look. Two kings. Let's have a look. Oh, this looks like it's good. I need to bookmark this bit here. It's quite a good bit. Right. So two kings. Yeah, competing. So it's a compete. It says competing for seekers' attention or affections. That's interesting because you do have here this. So some of you guys, it may be that in the work, maybe this is a love thing, because this could, you know, you're the seeker. You've come to this reading. So two kings is competing for someone's, for your attentions, and you've got the 5 of Wands here, which is competition. So you might find that this is a week where you've got competitors. 5 of Wands energy, competing, King of Pentacles, King of Cups for your affections. Perhaps you're waiting for something else though with the 3 of Wands energy, and there's a reluctance here with the 8 of Swords on your part to engage. Also, it's interesting, the King of Cups showing here, but the 8 of Swords, there's a reluctance here. Somebody's giving something here. The King of Cups can also be a card that shows an offer, an invitation, but there's a reluctance maybe with the 8 of Swords to take it. I do feel that there is a confrontation though, because the 5 of Wands represents confrontation, Libra, with this individual here. All right, it feels to me with the 3 of Wands energy, you may be, I don't know whether this is you with the 3 of Wands energy. It feels like there's competition, conflict. You're facing a conflict with this King of Pentacles energy showing here. 3 of Wands energy. It may be though that your ships are coming in. That King of Cups energy there, this could be somebody offering you something. Often when I see cup people, they represent to me offers being made because they're holding out the cup, so it's like an invitation. So possibly there is a confrontation with a boss here. Some of you guys with the 3 of Wands, you're expanding your horizons with the 3 of Wands. Maybe you're waiting for your ships to come in here. Possibly an offer with the King of Cups. But there's an 8 of Swords here. I'm going to clarify that 8 of Swords and see what it means by the 8. Because the 8 of Swords means feeling trapped, or there's negative thinking in terms of work. Or more than anything, it's feeling trapped in the job. Let's have a look. What do you mean by this 8 of Swords in 2 cards? But it may be that you're reluctant to take it. And actually, that could be you because it's sword energy. So that's you, Libra. Reluctant to take this offer. Because it feels like there's an offer being made, but there's some reluctance to take it. What do you mean by the 8 of Swords in 2 cards? Right, the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is one's values, one belief systems, tradition, keeping on the straight and narrow. So the 10 of Swords energy. So the 10 of Swords energy. 10 of Swords is quite a painful card. So the ending of a painful situation, or experiencing a painful situation. Let's look at these 2 cards. It means we've got another sword card here. So we've got a Hierophant here. So this is laws, rules and regulations. But the 10 of Swords can also be to surrender. You're surrendering to the rules and the regulations of something. Showing here, rules and regulations being surrendered to. So it feels like you're reluctant to take something. Even though I see confrontation with a boss. And I see maybe with the 3 of Wands energy that your ships are coming in though. Maybe there's an offer coming to you regarding maybe another job perhaps. I'm seeing you're reluctant to take it. It's almost like you want to leave somewhere but you don't do it. When the offer comes to you, you don't seem to take it with the 8 of Swords. You seem to have surrendered to that Hierophant. Because the Hierophant is kind of like the rules and the regulations, and the 10 of Swords is often the card of surrendering to something. Okay, and also, I mean, I've never really read the Hierophant as stability, but it's a certain way of doing it. It's a certain way of life. It's a religious way of doing things. It's values. It's belief systems. And the 10 of Swords feels to me like you're surrendering to something here. So it feels like you've got some confrontation with an individual here, but it feels like your ships are coming in with that 3 of you. You can see clearly that your ships are coming in. Confrontation with the King of Coins, a boss. Your ships are coming in with the 3 of Wands energy. Or you could be reaching out to another person here, because the 3 of Wands means to reach out. So even though in work you may have confrontations with whoever that person is there, some of you guys may be feeling like you want to reach out maybe to this individual here who can help. Reaching out to somebody who can help you. The 8 of Swords energy showing here. It may be that the 8 of Swords is what is it may be that the 8 of Swords is this individual here. Because I'm getting here as well, the 3 of Wands in a work reading can be networking with others. You may be networking with this King of Cups. So it might be that you've got conflict with one person, your boss, and you're networking with another individual, the King of Cups energy. Maybe the Ace of Swords could represent that you're not hearing anything about this, though, potentially. It might be that this King of Cups is tied down. The Ten of Swords can be tied down by, you know, business, for example. Hierophant energy. So the Hierophant is the organisation, it's business, that type of thing. So it's almost like somebody may be tied down by business, that type of thing. I'm just reading what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling it's showing me on the cards, okay? So I do feel there may be some confrontation with a boss. And it's also saying here that two kings in a reading competing for a seeker's attention. I'm going to have a look at another meaning for the two kings as well. Let's have a look. We've got a king here. Okay, so we've got the King of Cups. Why aren't you giving me the various things? Okay, maybe I need to be looking somewhere else for this, because I just want to have a look at if it's going to give me anything else on a king. So let's have a look. So yeah, kings, there's the age indication. We've just read that. I just want to see if there's anything else. Here we go. Right, seeker will be enjoying newfound higher rank, though. So it could also be, I'm sorry, I keep saying, but that's actually three kings, two kings. If seeker is a woman, then a conference will take place. If seeker is a man, then there will be competition or a confrontation. So we are seeing, if you're a male, you've probably got confrontation in the workplace. Three of Wands energy, networking with others. I don't know whether some of you guys have been found out that you're looking for another job, because maybe the confrontation with the two kings, especially if you're a male, that confrontation, two kings in a reading also means confrontation. So it means this kind of the same as the two queens, but the confrontation within the workplace, the Five of Wands confrontation again. So I'm getting confrontation three times, well, two times, two kings and the Five of Wands, confrontation in work for some of you, especially if you're a man watching this. It could be something to do with the Three of Wands. Maybe you've been reaching out to others. Maybe you've been networking with other people. You know, maybe you've been looking for another job. Maybe there's been something where you've been found out or something like that there. In there. But the Eight of Swords shows feeling trapped, or there are restrictions or limitations or negative thoughts, or this is also, Ten of Swords means being stabbed in the back. Could be that you're being stabbed in the back or hurt by a higher up here. So maybe showing that there's confrontation for some of you males that watch this video, Libra. Five of Wands, two kings, confrontation in work. Could be something about you reaching out to others. The Eight of Swords may be feeling very powerless, probably being, you know, maybe there's some backstabbing going on here, or maybe you're feeling deeply hurt or set upon perhaps by higher up people, perhaps with the Hierophant energy. For a woman, then a conference. So we've got a conference probably taking place here, but still I'm seeing conflicts here. Or maybe there's some worries here about a conflict about a conference taking place. Two Kings conference. So maybe there's some anxieties over a conference taking place this week for some of you females in work. Maybe because it's far away. Maybe because it's online or something via Zoom with the Three of Wands. Because this could be, you know, online communication, the Three of Wands. So if you're a woman, possibly you've got conferences taking place. There's anxieties over conferences taking place this week, possibly because they're online. Maybe you guys with the Eight of Swords energy are feeling kind of really, really shy and worried about that type of thing. Maybe, and we ask, well, what is the Eight of Swords about? Well, maybe it's about people who are in a high position here. Probably they're kind of bombarding you with, you know, with communication, with words, that type of thing. I mean, this version of the Ten of Swords, you know, it does represent an ending as well. This could be also the ending of a position. So perhaps the negative thoughts come about there being the ending of a high position, because the Hierophant would represent being in a high position and the Ten of Swords could represent the ending. So perhaps for some of you guys, if you're a woman, I would say possibly a conference taking place. There's a little bit of worry there with the Five of Wands. It's taking place online. Maybe the worries are that you feel with the Eight of Swords, there's a lot of negative thoughts going down about this. Maybe you're afraid that you're going to be ousted from your position, from your high position. If you're in a high position with the Hierophant, maybe you're feeling that you're being ousted from, that it's the end of your position there. You know, because when you're the Hierophant, you're in a high position. If you're a male, I'm seeing confrontation with the Five of Wands and the two Kings here. Three of Wands, it could actually be that there's confrontation, two Kings and the Five of Wands. It could be that it's over online again, showing up here. Maybe there's a sense of feeling powerless to stop this. Maybe you're feeling that you're not in control of your position, or you're being toppled with that Ten of Swords from your position by colleagues and things like that. So I'm just basically reading as much as I can with that one. which I find to be very interesting. We'll reiterate, we'll go over the reading again before we finish anyway. Finally, we've got the love area here, Libra. Six of Swords, so moving away from troubled waters, moving on, can also be guidance. Let's have a look at the next one. Some of you guys, I'm getting you moving on from this king here, this King of Swords. You can see the Six of Swords, the boat is kind of moving away from this character. So I'm getting you moving away from this character here, this King of Swords showing up here. Yeah, see there, look at the Eight of Swords. Now, how I read the After Tarot, because this is after what happens on the main right away. So you're being cut free from a chain here. Can you see how you're being cut free from? So you're moving away from this King of Swords. It might be an Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, but then, I mean, this is usually an Aquarius, so it could still be a you know, an air sign like you are. So moving away from this King of Swords, being set free for some of you Librans. Let's have a look here. Yeah, I mean, this is you unburdening yourself with the Ten of Wands energy showing here, and blocking this individual out with the Two of Swords. You're just blocking them out completely, showing here as well. But also, whilst you're on this, what this card brings to me as well, Libra, is that this person's not interested in anybody else either, because this is somebody who usually has to make a decision between two people as well. You've got the two men here, and this woman sitting here and having to kind of make a decision perhaps between the two people. Maybe you're unburdening yourself from having to make a decision between him and or her, the lover and somebody else, okay? So maybe you've made your mind up about somebody there. Let's quickly get this reading over again. Sorry, guys, it was a bit clunky, wasn't it? I was just trying to read as many things as I could do in this area here. So Libra for the week. I'm getting something that was moving really slowly. It's beginning to change, and we're seeing things coming together with the Temperance card. I'm seeing an ending and a beginning here, as something you've been longing for, waiting for, is starting to materialize with the Ace of Coins. That's your message for the week in the general. In terms of work, if you're a woman, I'm seeing a conference taking place, the King of Pentacles, the King of Cups. There may be some anxieties and worries about a conference here, okay? It looks like it's online, and it looks like the worries are to do with, for example, this conference, and there's a lot of worries and anxiety over it. It's done online, and it looks like the worries are because you feel that you're going to be rendered powerless, or maybe you're worried about the technology breaking down, that type of thing, but also your position as the Hierophant kind of being, you know, toppled. So the ending of a high position, for example, there, or something like that. Or maybe you're afraid of the higher ups kind of bombarding you with lots of questions, putting a lot of mental pressure on you, that type of thing. I think if you're a man, then you've got some confrontation that you're dealing with those two kings, because two kings in a reading, it is, and you can be a woman with this as well. I've got to be honest, I shouldn't really say male. Let's start that again. This isn't about being male or female, because I've seen kings, really, the King of Pentacles and the King of Cups are much nicer to each other than, say, a King of Swords and a King of Wands. They're quite vicious, those two are, when you see them. And I've seen these cards before play out for females as well, because I've been involved in a massive argument with my twin sister, and the King of Swords and the King of Wands showed up on that day that argument occurred. So I know that when you get a sword and you get a wand, the argument can be more vicious. These people are much more kind of understanding. The King of Coins and the King of Cups are much more diplomatic characters, but nevertheless, there's two things happening here. You've either got a conference coming in, whether you're male or female, a conference coming in, there's a bit of worry over that. It looks like it's online. The worry might be in conjunction with technological problems, the Eight of Swords, or the worries might come about because you feel with the Eight of Swords energy that you lack the power. Maybe the power is to do with kind of the Hierophant, so being in a position where you can answer questions, or having enough knowledge, for example, with the Hierophant. Or maybe you feel that you lack the power to deal with people who are in a high position here, people who are bombarding you with lots and lots of questions, the Ten of Swords. The other thing to say is you may be facing a confrontation this week for you guys. The King of Pentacles and the King of Cups, there's a confrontational card there backing that up with the Five of Wands. You seem to be facing a challenge. There's confrontations going on. It looks with the Three of Wands energy, it could be over either... it could be the confrontation takes place online, or it could be the confrontation is over maybe products coming in, something arriving, maybe you're in charge of kind of import, export, that type of thing with the Three of Wands energy. But some of you guys feeling really negative and feeling really powerless there, because it might be that you feel, again, that the higher ups here of the business, the Hierophant, are really kind of pummeling you with their knives with the Ten of Swords. Or maybe you feel that your business, your position is in jeopardy. Maybe you're going to get sacked or something like that with the Hierophant and the Ten of Swords. Finally, some of you guys being involved with a fellow air sign, or this could be somebody who was quite kind of disconnected and cold. Some of you guys moving away from that. You're being guided away from this individual now, I think. And I think that you're being cut free with that Eight of Swords energy. And finally, you're just letting go of all of those burdens here. The burdens of probably having to choose between them and somebody else as well with that Two of Swords. Interesting. Finally, let's have a look at the advice. We have the stop comparing. I think I called this stop complaining once on a reading. I didn't read it properly. It was stop comparing. Okay, so it says, apples don't compare themselves to oranges. Stars don't compete with other stars. They know, well, they do actually. They know there's room for all to shine in this ever-expanding universe. So embrace your differences. Celebrate your quirks and kinks. Bring your fullest expression of self towards and champion others when they do the same. All right, Libra, that's your reading for the week. I'd like to say thanks ever so much for joining me on Carol's Universe, and have a great day. If you'd like to order a reading, you can click on the link in the comment section or the end screen. Have a great week. See you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.